welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is for your first time around. My name is Sandra, known as gain_strength_ on Instagram. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Today we are in the kitchen. I will be showing you 3 different meals that you can make with the same ingredients. So changing up a little bit of things to make it somewhat different. We'll be changing up a little bit, maybe the way that we make it or the way that we season it. You'll probably find this very helpful if you want to start meal prepping but you don't necessarily want to eat the exact same foods throughout the week. So I hope that you guys find this video helpful and that you guys like these recipes. If you give any of the recipes a try, let me know in the comments section which one you tried and how you liked it. If there's any other type of video related to like meal prepping or food that you want to see, let me know in the comment section. So let's get started. For all of the 3 recipes, what you're gonna need is chicken. My chicken is already thawed out. I thawed it out earlier today. You're going to need some rice. I just used the one from Trader Joe's. It's their organic jasmine rice. It's frozen, so literally all I have to do is just put it on the pan. I think you can also microwave it, but I usually just do it on the stove top. And then the veggies you're gonna need for these recipes is some carrots, zucchini, and bell pepper. Now my bell pepper, I used some earlier today for my breakfast, so I'm just gonna use the same one. Zucchini and then carrots, I'm only gonna use 2 for the meal right now. As far as serving size or like how much of each, whenever I share recipes, I typically leave that up to you and to your discretion. The reason for that is because the amount that I eat or the amount that my diet requires will be different than what yours requires. So typically, depending on the size of the carrots, in this case, this one's fairly small and I just wanted to finish the bag that I bought last week, so I'm gonna do 2. For the zucchini, I'll probably use a little bit less than half of this. And then the bell pepper, I'll probably use half of what I already have here. And then the chicken breast, I typically eat between 170 to maybe like 190 grams of chicken. It really will depend on how much protein I'm already eating throughout the day. And then as far as like the rice goes, I always just do a serving, which is 142 grams. If you want to bulk cook this, obviously you'll need more of each ingredient. If you're gonna cook one meal at a time like I am, I'm gonna need less of each. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by chopping up my veggies, peeling the carrots. Everything's been washed, so I'll peel the carrots, chop this up, and then we'll move on to the next step. I'll try and keep all the veggies the same size. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a little, that big. So all the veggies are chopped. Done with this, so now I'm going to prepare the chicken. I don't know what I'm gonna season it with. I have a lot of seasonings, but we'll see what I come up with. For this first recipe, now I know that I said that the 3 recipes are gonna have the same ingredients, but I don't really count seasonings as ingredients only because I would say the majority of the population have different types of seasonings at home. So use whatever seasonings you want, but for this one specifically, I am going to use some of this everything but the elote seasoning from Trader Joe's. I don't know if you could see it there. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this, some chili powder, just regular chili powder, a little bit of garlic salt. So the everything but the elote already has salt in it, so I'm only gonna do a little bit. And I'm actually gonna use this for the veggies. Cayenne pepper because I like spicy food. I like to eat my chicken with a little bit of a kick to it. So I have my chicken weighed out. I'm gonna keep it whole, like this part of the chicken breast. I'm gonna cut little like slits into the meat. Not all the way through, just little like slits so it could cook evenly. And then we'll go ahead and start seasoning. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let me see if I can show it without it. Can you see that? Ew, ew, ew. Like I said, use whatever seasonings you have available, but if you have a Trader Joe's near you, I would definitely recommend this everything but the elote. I use this for everything that I well, maybe not everything, but I use this for a lot of the foods that I eat. In the morning, if I'm making eggs, I'll go ahead and add some of this instead of just adding plain salt. Again, because this already has salt in it, I'm just going to lightly use some garlic salt on this. And I'm gonna go with the chili powder. This one I use a little bit more. Cayenne pepper, I sprinkle a little bit because cayenne pepper is pretty spicy, so I just sprinkle a little bit. I'm not gonna add seasoning to the other side because I don't want it to get too salty. I'm just gonna clip it around a couple times, and then you'll start to see that the back side of it will also get covered, especially because the board has a little bit more seasoning around it. Just like that, your chicken is good to go. I'm using the rice from Trader Joe's that's already cooked, so if you cook your rice, go ahead and do that. I eat a serving of it. It'll depend on you how much you want to eat. If you don't want to, or you don't like to eat rice, you can always substitute it for something else like quinoa or cauliflower rice, potatoes, any other type of carb source. Go ahead and start cooking this over in the stovetop. If you have an air fryer, you can also cook it in the air fryer. Lately, I've been really liking it on the stovetop just because it gives it kind of a different flavor than in the air fryer. And my husband always uses the air fryer, so sometimes there's no room for my food. I couldn't figure out how to set, so you're gonna just see my hands. I couldn't figure out how to set up the camera so that you could see me as I was talking, but you could also see the stove, so this is where we're at. This is what I'm gonna use to cook both the chicken and the veggies. It's just like a big grill skillet that we have that I love. This is what I usually cook my veggies in and what I've been cooking my chicken in. I'm just gonna spray some cooking spray so that it does not stick. Wait for it to heat up just a little bit. While this is heating up and doing that, I'm gonna get my pan that I'm gonna cook the rice in. This is the rice. Hopefully you guys can see it. Just organic jasmine rice, and I'm just gonna put it into a pan. And for the rice, I'm just gonna add some garlic salt. Sometimes I'll also add Italian seasoning when I wanna be a little extra, or I'll do some lime juice and garlic salt for that chipotle rice, but not today. Because the rice takes 5 minutes, I usually wait until this is almost done and then I'll start cooking that. The carrots take a while to cook. I'm also gonna put them in right away. If you recall, I said I was gonna add some garlic salt to the veggies, but I'll wait until they're all on the pan. I'll check back in once this is almost done. While this is still cooking, I'm gonna start my rice. While I cook my dinner, my husband usually also cooks his dinner. I'm actually just going to show you guys what I'm doing. The air fryer is gonna be running in the background, so you probably won't be able to hear me. This is where we're at. The rice is cooking here. This is actually almost done. The carrots start looking like this, like a little toasted. I added the zucchini so that the zucchini could cook. The chicken as well, I flipped it once it kind of looks like that brown color. And basically I'm just gonna let it cook on this side. To know when the chicken is ready, I have a thermometer, and I think when it reads 165 degrees, then that means your chicken is done. My thermometer is out. I still haven't gotten a battery for it. I'll just take the chicken and cut it up. If there's no pink on the inside, then that means the chicken is done. I'll add the bell pepper towards the end because that cooks really fast. Meal number 1 is done. I will probably check to see if we have any avocados, but other than that, this is the first dinner. So for the second meal, using again the same ingredients, chicken, carrots, zucchini, and bell pepper, we are going to make a chicken bowl. Now, if you haven't included bowls, chicken bowls, beef bowls, ground turkey bowls to your diet, you are missing out. This is the best way, in my opinion, to cook your food because you can add in a ton of veggies. It's easy to make. You can cook it ahead of time and have it ready to go for when the next meal is coming up. Same as in the last recipe, I'm gonna cut off the top and the bottom of the carrot and then I'm gonna peel it. This time, I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller because the chicken is gonna be cut up into small little pieces instead of just like a whole chicken breast. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna cut up the zucchini. Now I have a little piece still from my dinner last night. So the zucchini, I'm gonna cut it up the same way as well into small little cubes. Now, of course, I'm showing you how to make these recipes using these 3 veggies. If you don't like, let's say you don't like zucchini, switch it out for a veggie you do like. Maybe you prefer asparagus. Asparagus would be actually very good too. And then bell pepper. Again, for the quantities, it's up to you. For carrots, usually I do 1 carrot. If it's a rather small carrot, maybe I'll do 2. But I'll leave that up to you guys to decide how much veggies do you want to add to your meals. And it helps if you have a sharp knife, which I do not have. So now that my veggies are all done, I'm gonna prep the chicken. So I think I'm gonna end up leaving it as like a whole chicken breast, and then once it's done cooking, I'll cut it up into small pieces. I am not a chef, I'm not a professional. This is just the way that I cook. So in my head, cooking it whole and then cutting it up, I feel like sometimes my chicken ends up being a little bit more juicy than if I cut it up into individual tiny pieces and then cook it. I don't know if that's true. Again, I'm not a professional. Do what works for you, but that's what I typically like to do. To season this, let me see what I want to season it with. Again, I'm not counting seasoning as part of an ingredient, simply because for the majority of us, we have some kind of seasoning already in our pantry. If you don't have a fully stocked spice rack, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your meals, I should say? So make sure you have like a variety of different spices and stuff so that you can change it up, you know? So for this meal, I will be adding sriracha seasoning. Can you see it? I don't know. The brand is Rodelle, R-O-D-E-L-L-E. I think I got this at Costco. This is amazing seasoning. If you guys have not tried it and you have a Costco membership, definitely check it out. I think Sam's Club has a similar version, but I think that one's garlic sriracha, which is actually even better. And you already know, everything but the elote seasoning, just a little bit of that, and then just garlic salt. How much seasoning, you know, it kind of will depend, again, on you and how flavorful you want the meat or the whatever you're eating. Obviously, the more you cook, the more comfortable you get in the kitchen, you'll kind of know how much of what to add. I mean, there's been times where I cook and I add a little bit too much salt. It is what it is. But this isn't really that spicy for those of you that are wondering. But I kind of decided that I'm going to add sriracha sauce to my bowl. So it'll be fine, that'll give it the little kick that I want. So again, I'm just kind of tossing this on my board, letting the seasoning get it everywhere, basically. I'm gonna start cooking everything now that it's been prepped. So I'm gonna start with the chicken and the carrots, and then I'll add in the zucchini and the bell pepper as time goes. And then once I start cooking, I'll also start cooking the rice. I'm going to use my grill skillet. I don't know what it's called, guys. I know I've looked it up a couple of times because people will always ask me like, what is that? I'm like, no. So I know I've looked it up, but I don't remember. I usually just use a little bit of cooking spray. Now, obviously, if I were meal prepping, say for the week, so usually Sundays is when I meal prep, I would have more quantities, but I'm just cooking this for my lunch today, so I just need for one meal. So as this starts to heat up, I'm just gonna start putting everything away that I don't need anymore. If you saw my previous video, which go check it out if you haven't, I like to clean up as I go so that by the time I'm done eating or I'm done cooking, the kitchen's somewhat clean and I don't really have to spend that much time cleaning. The only thing left cooking is the chicken, and then the rice is all done. With the chicken, like you can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell, you can still see that it's a little raw there. So for those of you that you're not really comfortable in the kitchen yet, you're still trying to learn, what I do sometimes is I'll usually just cut into the chicken and just see. But here I can obviously still see that it needs to be cooked, so I just kind of flip it around. Maybe if it's still taking too long, I'll just actually end up cutting it up and letting it cut up the rest of the way. And then for the veggies, you can kind of tell how they have like little grill marks on them. Once these are kind of done, I'll just push them off to the side just so that they can stay warm, not necessarily keep cooking. All right, guys, well, there you have it. This is the second meal using the same ingredients. I added a little bit of avocado that I had in the fridge, and then I just added some sriracha sauce just to give it a little kick. So you guys can see it. But yeah, I am very hungry, so I'm going to dig in. Stay tuned for the third and final recipe using these same ingredients. Meal number 3. Today's actually Sunday. For today's recipe, I'm actually going to bake the chicken. So I'm only going to prep the chicken, but I'll check back with you guys tomorrow during dinner so that you can see how I prep the rest of the stuff. So I'm gonna start again with the chicken. I have a couple of chicken breasts here. So basically how I'm gonna do it, and this is only again because I meal prep and because I track my macros that I need to know about how much of each ingredient is in my meals. When I actually go to cooking the chicken, I'm going to keep it like in its separate on the baking sheet, just so that I know, okay, this is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So today I'm gonna use my garlic salt that I've been using all week, my cayenne pepper, and I'm actually gonna use some lemon pepper. I don't really cook with lemon pepper that often. It's just lemon pepper, salt-free Ms. Dash or Mrs. Dash, I don't know, whatever. So that's what I'm gonna use for the chicken. I think I might have some lemon juice, so I'll probably add a little bit. Optional, not needed. I haven't baked chicken in a while. Hoping for the best here. Chicken is done. I cut it up a little bit. You can see. Hopefully you guys can see. It looks pretty done. I will show you guys tomorrow for dinner how I warm them up, veggies, and then the rice. So I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. We just got back from the gym, so now it's time to cook dinner. This whole video is about making the same type of meals using the same groceries. And the purpose of that is because I know sometimes when it comes to meal prepping, you don't always want to be eating the same food over and over. So this is a good idea for those of you that want to maybe meal prep but don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money buying different kinds of ingredients for different types of meals, or maybe you just don't like eating the same thing all week. But this is an easy way for you to repurpose the ingredients that you buy when you go to the grocery store. Today, we're going to heat the chicken that I showed you in the previous clip, and then the veggies, I'm actually going to steam them. And I'll heat up the chicken, I'll just slice it up and cook it on the pan. You could always just microwave it if you want, throw it in the air fryer, that kind of thing, whatever works for you. I don't know how the zucchini will taste steamed. I prefer like crunchy, like carrot type, bell pepper type veggies, but we're using zucchini, so we'll see. We'll give it a shot, and if it works, it works. If not, then you know what? Now we know. Basically, I just have a pan and I added a little bit of water to it. Now that it's boiling, I'm gonna start with the carrots because those are like the harder ones and they'll take longer to basically steam. Once you add the veggies, you'll just cover it up and just let it steam for a little bit. I'll add the bell pepper once the carrots start to get a little bit soft, and then at the very end I'll add the zucchini. I will add seasoning once all the veggies are in the pan. I'll probably just add either lemon pepper or some garlic salt and call it a day. Well, this wraps up today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If there's any other type of nutrition recipe related type of video that you guys want me to share with you, let me know in the comments below. If you guys try any of these recipes, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Share my channel with your friends, with your family, to help me out. But see you guys on the next one.